Hi, I'm Alyssa Cobb.
Fly with AOPA.
Hi, I'm Alyssa Cobb. I'm Alyssa Cobb. I'm Alyssa Cobb. Come fly with AOPA.
AOPA keeps flying safe, accessible, and fun by protecting your freedom to fly. We are the most trusted one-stop resource for all things related to general aviation. Become an AOPA pilot today.
I'm Alyssa Cobb. I'm a flight instructor and aircraft owner. I have a tail dragger here, and just grown up flying. I grew up flying out of grass trips with my dad. I think my first flight I was 2 or 3, and that's all I knew. We went to paved runways just for special treats, like to go out to eat. And so it was all backcountry flying, and then I learned to fly at a paved airport and got away from it for a couple of decades, and back into it and just love flying on the grass. It's a Cessna 170B, so the B model has 40 degrees of flaps. The straight 170 didn't have flaps, and I believe had fabric wings. The A model had split flaps, so it didn't do a whole ton for you, but the B model with 40 degrees of flaps, so you can really get slow and get down in that. It's the standard 145 horsepower Continental 0300 engine. It's really a stock airplane. A lot of mods have been done to it, and it performs really well. I bought my airplane in 2014. I actually bought it off of my dad. He had found the aircraft in Texas. I believe it was part of an estate sale. It had been flipped over and had wing damage, had been repaired, and he had planned to put a 180 horse engine in the airplane so he could fly more often out of the 900-foot strip behind my parents' house. But when he sent the engine off to be checked, the engine was fine. And so he decided to sell it, and he had checked with someone else to see if they wanted to buy it, and then asked me, and I was like, sure. On my trips home from Maryland, I got to see the first engine run with the wings were still off, but the engine was on and running, and then got to go up and film him doing the first taxi and takeoffs. And actually, it was end of May 2014. I have in my logbook the very first flight that I did with him in the 170. It was back to Alyssa Airport, which is where we had first went on my first flight to go out to eat. And so then I took it back to Frederick when I was based at AOPA headquarters, and flew it, and then actually met my husband through the airplane. It was a frigid February day, and I was going over to Martin State near Baltimore to pick up a portable preheater. But I needed a preheat in order to go, and so I had called the FBO. Theirs was broken, so they called the flight school, and at the time Jason was instructing there, not flying that day, so he said he'd come over and do the preheat, and I thought he was the chattiest line guy I had ever met. He was smitten by my eyes. That's all he could see, because I was like bundled up except for this, because it was quite a cold day. We reconnected a couple other times through the airplane, and I took him on our first date. We got married, and then we painted the airplane, so its original tail number was 4556 Charlie. And so, and it was white with blue and red, but the wings from the damage, they had some bare aluminum and some green primer, and so we got it painted, and I had reserved the N number, 624 Juliet Alpha, and so that's our wedding date, June 24th, and our initials. So I will have no excuse for forgetting our anniversary, because it's the tail number. But now we have 2 kids, and we take the kids flying in it. Flying for me is a form of relaxation. You just kind of detach from everything on the ground, and there's no airspace around here. It's beautiful countryside to look at, and especially if, I'm going up at sunset or something, I just like to look out the window and enjoy the sunset and then come back in and land. Just something about landing on grass that's just fun. If the kids are interested in learning to fly, my husband and I are both flight instructors. We'd love to be able to teach them in it and for them to keep flying it. And I don't really want to sell it. I've got too much, I guess, too much of an emotional attachment to it. So it'd be cool if it was one of those things that stayed in the family. But it'd be awesome if the kids would, want to learn to fly in it.